25 years ago, this country was living through a nightmare, a year-long nightmare called 1968. There was a war. Before the year ended, there would be assassinations and rioting. And it was on this day that President Lyndon Baines Johnson went on the air to address the nation. It was a Sunday night. The anticipated topic, an end to the bombing in Vietnam. But unknown to practically everyone, a surprise ending to the script that Lyndon Johnson was waiting to deliver. Lyndon Johnson had won the presidency in one of the largest landslides in history just 4 years before. But by the last day of March 1968, the war in Vietnam had all but evaporated his enormous popularity. He was being challenged by two men from his own party, Gene McCarthy and Robert Kennedy. It is not often that journalists are caught totally off guard by a news event. 25 years ago tonight they were. Here's how it looked on World News Then.
We delay the start of our regularly scheduled programs to bring you the following special report from ABC News, Washington. Here is ABC's White House correspondent, Frank Reynolds.
President Johnson is now in his office in the White House preparing to report to the nation on the war in Vietnam and other matters. This speech tonight comes after a lengthy review of the administration's overall policy in Vietnam. It is widely believed that Mr. Johnson may announce a new peace offensive in yet another effort to start negotiations with North Vietnam. Now, the President of the United States.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Tonight I want to speak to you of peace in Vietnam and Southeast Asia. No other question so preoccupies our people. No other dream so absorbs the 250 million human beings who live in that part of the world. No other goal motivates American policy in Southeast Asia. Tonight I have ordered our aircraft and our naval vessels to make no attacks on North Vietnam, except in the area north of the demilitarized zone where the continuing enemy buildup directly threatens Allied forward positions and where the movement of their troops and supplies are clearly related to that threat. The area in which we're stopping our attacks includes almost 90% of North Vietnam's population and most of its territory. Thus, there will be no attacks around the principal populated areas or in the food-producing areas of North Vietnam. Even this very limited bombing of the North could come to an early end if our restraint is matched by restraint in Hanoi. But I cannot, in good conscience, stop all bombing so long as to do so would immediately and directly endanger the lives of our men and our allies. Whether a complete bombing halt becomes possible in the future will be determined by events. Our purpose in this action is to bring about a reduction in the level of violence that now exists. It is to save the lives of brave men and to save the lives of innocent women and children. It is to permit the contending forces to move closer to a political settlement. The heart of our involvement in South Vietnam, under three different presidents, three separate administrations, has always been America's own security. And the larger purpose of our involvement has always been to help the nations of Southeast Asia become independent and stand alone, self-sustaining as members of a great world community, at peace with themselves, at peace with all others. And with such an Asia, our country and the world will be far more secure than it is tonight. I believe that a peaceful Asia is far nearer to reality because of what America has done in Vietnam. I believe that the men who endure the dangers of battle there, fighting there for us tonight, are helping the entire world avoid far greater conflicts, far wider wars, far more destruction than this one. The peace that will bring them home someday will come. Tonight, I have offered the first in what I hope will be a series of mutual moves toward peace. There is division in the American House now. There is divisiveness among us all tonight. And holding the trust that is mine as President of all the people, I cannot disregard the peril to the progress of the American people and the hope and the prospects of peace for all peoples. So I would ask all Americans, whatever their personal interests are concerned, to guard against divisiveness and all of its ugly consequences. What we won when all of our people united just must not now be lost in suspicion and distrust and selfishness and politics among any of our people. And believing this as I do, I have concluded that I should not permit the presidency to become involved in the partisan divisions that are developing in this political year. With America's sons in the field far away, with America's future under challenge right here at home, with our hopes and the world's hopes for peace and the balance every day, I do not believe that I should devote an hour or a day of my time to any personal partisan causes or to any duties other than the awesome duties of this office, the presidency of your country. Accordingly, I shall not seek and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president. But let men everywhere know, however, that a strong and a confident and a vigilant America stands ready tonight to seek an honorable peace and stands ready tonight to defend an honored cause, whatever the price, whatever the burden, whatever the sacrifice that duty may require. Thank you for listening. Good night, and God bless all of you.
Mr. Johnson has now concluded his speech, and until he came to the very end of it, we all thought, of course, that the central point would be his offer to end the bombing of North Vietnam, except for a small area near the demilitarized zone. But Mr. Johnson has now bowed out of American political life with his dramatic and totally unexpected announcement tonight that he will not seek the nomination of his party, nor will he accept the nomination. This simply means that President Johnson has decided not to be a candidate for re-election in this election year of 1968. And I may say that it comes as a great surprise to a great many people. There have been some hints here and there that perhaps the president would decide not to seek re-election, but there was certainly no advance indication at the White House that he would choose this forum tonight to make that announcement. About an hour and a half ago at the White House, we were told there might be additions to the prepared text of the President, a short edition, and it turned out to be, of course, the most dramatic of all, Mr. Johnson's announcement that he will not be a candidate.
You could see couldn't you, the look of surprise in Frank's face when the speech ended. Anyway, Lyndon Johnson gets out 25 years ago today, where I was that day writing a story for the college newspaper in Minneapolis. There was this great sense of elation among students that the war somehow they felt was ending. Of course, the war would go on for another term of another president. This is World News Now from New York.